as you're doing things as opportunities come up. So let us know. It's always, as I said, it's always better not to ask for things retroactively. So if you know you need $3,000 of equipment for something, you know, don't spend the money thinking you have to unless you're fine with doing that, and expect that you'll get a grant to pay that back, because it doesn't usually work that way. You need to ask ahead of time. It's a proposal, right?
You could also apply, sorry to cut you off. You could also apply for the Office of Undergraduate Research Scholarship. They also provide funding, and I don't think they have that double dip exclusion. So that's another opportunity.
So again, this is with the Office of Undergraduate. Be on the lookout for this, right? Because they just announced this one in the last month or two. That might go up over time, say next year. So keep an eye on that. There's that one. There's also, if you do service learning kinds of work, and I know all of you raised your hands for STEM, so that's probably not related, but if you're doing some kind of community engaged or service learning work, there is also a grant through the Office of Engagement for undergraduates that gets offered. That's a nice one. If any of you have want information on that, let me know and I can dig that up for you. Other than that, I mean, those are the major ones on campus. There's a study abroad grant, but that's not really research has to go on study abroad class, unless maybe some of you are doing research in that context.
When you said that we had to present it, is it like a private presentation or is it like a public one?
Oh, yes, thank you. Okay, so that is the one other requirement, right? Well, that's for the scholarly project requirement. So presentation means presentation in an academic format. So usually at a conference, academic conference of some kind. Being aware that, right, there are a lot of conferences out there. You don't have to necessarily do a big one in your field. It can be an undergraduate conference, including the Undergraduate Poster Symposium that happens every year here on Purdue's campus in April. Okay, it's a nice one. It's huge. We've got students from across the disciplinary colleges all over campus. It's a poster as opposed to paper, which is a little easier, I think, to put together and present. And it's right at the end of spring, so you can do it at the tail end. A lot of you will find, though, as you get into labs and get into this work, you may have opportunities to present at conferences, do conference work within your discipline. But if not, the Office of Undergraduate Research does that symposium, and that's kind of your fail switch. And then there's other regional undergraduate ones that come up sometimes. There's some things for that, and anything we hear. We also try to shout out to you guys through H&N. So you may see opportunities there as well. But presentation means something more than classroom or a small group of presenters. Although we do have folks who meet that requirement in like small presentations within their departments, things like that.
Like seminar, they give a seminar.
They give a seminar, yeah, something like that. And we are working to have something going in fall semester soon as well. That's in-house to the Honors College to make sure that our fall graduates also have an opportunity, but we don't have anything up and running yet. But again, we deal with those on a case-by-case basis.
Correct me if I'm wrong, so if they do the poster or a presentation, they don't need to write a thesis paper or anything like that, right? The poster is the project, right? They get credit for.
That's a Dr. Bras question.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. I think there has to be, the presentation requirement is in addition to.
Oh, okay.
But not all of these projects are theses. So
yeah.
It's going to depend, and that's why it's not up anymore. But that proposal process, and now we're getting less into kind of research experiences and more into the scholarly grant. But this is why we have you go through this proposal process. So once you're working with a faculty mentor or you have a research project in mind, you will write up a proposal of what you want to do. That will go to our Associate Dean of Research, plus a committee of faculty who look at that and think, does it make sense? Is it viable? Is this faculty member someone who's willing to take them on? Does it work? And so, and when all answers are yes, they give you the go-ahead. And that's your scholarly project. And the reason is to make sure, right, that you're not proposing something that's really, you can't finish, right? Or just won't work for some reason. So you have kind of people behind you who say, yes, we believe in this is good, you're set, take it and go. And that is when they'll tell you whether or not, is the paper that you're presenting at the end or the theater piece or whatever it is you're doing, is that sufficient outcome of your knowledge? They'll evaluate it, right? bear in mind, right, the scholarly project used to be a thesis, which is a written thing. We took that out because we recognized that research can be a whole lot of different things, right? It's not just writing a 20-page or 30-page or some paper, right? Different disciplines define this differently. Maybe you're building a robot. Maybe, maybe it is a poster presentation that presents something interesting and new in some context. It's going to look really different for different students.
Yeah, we had students do a podcast, create websites, so
yeah,
it could have different forms.
Things. Coding, building a program.
Yeah.
Right. So the purpose of that is to make it open and not scary. Okay. Other questions?
We will have a Q&A November 14th at 2 p.m. in Innovation Forum. We'll be there sitting at a booth. If you want to bring your email, or if you want to draft the email and then bring it to us to look at, or your CV, or if you have any other questions, just stop by our booth and we'll be happy to answer them. Okay? Cool. Good luck.